Hi there, I'm Peter. Today on Fuel for Fathers, we're discussing why you wake up tired even when you sleep early. 8 hours of interrupted sleep gives you less recovery than 6 hours of solid sleep. Quality beats quantity every single time, and if your sleep is being broken up by kids, bathroom trips, or your phone, those extra hours aren't doing what you think they are. So here's the situation. You're doing everything right. You're in bed by 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. instead of staying up late. You're getting 7 or 8 hours in bed. But when that alarm goes off, you feel like absolute rubbish, groggy, heavy, like you barely slept at all. And you're thinking, what's the point of going to bed early if I still feel like this? Here's what's actually happening. It's not about how long you're in bed. It's about how many complete sleep cycles you're getting through uninterrupted and what's happening to your sleep architecture when those cycles get broken. Let me explain how sleep actually works. When you fall asleep, you don't just go into one steady state for the night. Your brain cycles through different stages, and each stage does something different for your recovery. You've got light sleep, deep sleep, and REM sleep. A full cycle takes about 90 minutes, and you need to go through multiple complete cycles to wake up feeling restored. Deep sleep is where your body does the heavy lifting. This is when your muscles repair, your immune system gets recharged, and your body clears out metabolic waste from your brain. If you're not getting enough deep sleep, or if it keeps getting interrupted, you're missing out on the physical recovery that makes you feel energized the next day. REM sleep is where your brain processes emotions, consolidates memories, and does mental maintenance. If your REM sleep is disrupted, you wake up feeling foggy, irritable, and mentally drained, even if you are physically in bed for 8 hours. The problem is these stages don't happen evenly throughout the night. Deep sleep is concentrated in the first half of the night, usually within the first 3 to 4 hours. REM sleep becomes longer and more frequent in the second half, especially in the hours before you wake up. If something is disrupting your sleep cycles, you're either missing out on deep sleep early in the night, or you're cutting short your REM sleep in the morning. Now, here's where it gets tricky. You might think you slept through the night, but if you're waking up even briefly multiple times, those micro disruptions are fragmenting your sleep cycles. Maybe you're getting up to check on a kid, or you're rolling over and looking at your phone, or you're waking up to use the bathroom. Each time you wake, even if it's just for a minute or two, you're pulling yourself out of a sleep stage. When you fall back asleep, you have to start a new cycle from the beginning. You never get deep into those restorative stages. This is why someone who sleeps 6 hours straight can wake up feeling better than someone who spent 8 hours in bed but woke up 5 or 6 times. The person with 6 hours got 3 or 4 complete cycles. The person with 8 fragmented hours might have only completed 2 cycles properly. Time in bed doesn't equal quality recovery. And there's also something called sleep inertia. This is that groggy, heavy feeling you get when you wake up in the middle of a deep sleep cycle. If your alarm goes off while you're in deep sleep or early REM, your brain hasn't finished the cycle, and it's like being yanked out of something important. You feel disoriented and exhausted, even though you were technically asleep for hours. That's why some people feel better waking up after 6 hours than after 8. They're catching the end of a cycle instead of being ripped out of the middle of one. Most blokes don't realize how sensitive sleep quality is to what's happening in the environment and in their body. Room temperature, light exposure, alcohol, late meals, stress, all of these can fragment your sleep without you consciously waking up enough to remember it. For example, alcohol. A lot of dads have a couple of beers in the evening to wind down. Alcohol makes you fall asleep faster, which feels helpful, but it completely wrecks the second half of your night. It suppresses REM sleep, and as your body metabolizes the alcohol, it causes micro-awakenings. You might not remember them, but they're breaking up your cycles. You wake up feeling like you barely slept, even though you were in bed for 8 hours. Room temperature is another big one. If your room is too hot, your body struggles to drop its core temperature, which it needs to do to enter and stay in deep sleep. You end up spending more time in light sleep, tossing and turning, and you miss out on the restorative stages. Then there's light. Even small amounts of light from a phone screen, a TV, or street lights coming through the window can suppress melatonin and keep you in lighter stages of sleep. Your brain interprets light as a signal to stay alert, so it doesn't let you drop into deep sleep the way it should, and stress. If you've got cortisol elevated from a rough day or ongoing worries, your body stays in a semi-alert state even while you're asleep. You're not fully relaxing, and your sleep cycles get compressed. You're physically in bed, but your nervous system is still running on low-grade stress mode. Here's the thing, going to bed early is important, but it's not enough on its own. You need to protect the quality of those hours, not just the quantity. So what can you actually do about it? First, prioritize sleep continuity. If you're waking up multiple times a night, figure out why. Is it kids? Is it your bladder? Is it your phone? For kids, that's harder to control, but if you're checking your phone every time you roll over, put it in another room. If you're getting up to pee multiple times, cut off fluids 2 hours before bed, reduce the interruptions as much as you can. Second, protect your sleep environment. Make your room as dark as possible. Use blackout curtains or an eye mask. Keep it cool. Around 18 to 19 degrees Celsius is ideal. Your body needs to drop its core temperature to get into deep sleep, and a hot room fights against that. And eliminate noise, or use a fan or white noise machine to create consistent background sound that masks sudden disruptions. Third, cut alcohol at least 3 hours before bed. I know that's not popular advice, but if you're serious about waking up feeling better, it makes a massive difference. Alcohol in your system during the second half of the night is destroying your REM sleep and fragmenting your cycles. You don't have to quit drinking, just time it earlier in the evening. Fourth, watch your meal timing. A big meal right before bed spikes your insulin and keeps your digestive system active, which can pull you out of deep sleep. Try to finish eating at least 2 to 3 hours before you're planning to sleep. If you need a small snack, go for something light with protein and fat, not carbs and sugar. And fifth, work backwards from your wake time in 90-minute increments. If you need to wake up at 6 a.m., count back in cycles. 6 a.m. minus 90 minutes is 4:30 a.m. minus another 90 is 3 a.m. and so on. If you're aiming for 5 complete cycles, that's 7.5 hours, which means you'd want to be asleep by 10:30 p.m. If you're aiming for 6 cycles, that's 9 hours, so asleep by 9 p.m. This increases your chances of waking up at the end of a cycle instead of in the middle of one, which reduces that groggy, heavy feeling. Bottom line, waking up tired after sleeping early means your sleep quality is being compromised by interruptions, poor environment, alcohol, late meals, or waking up mid-cycle. Time in bed isn't the same as restorative sleep. Protect your sleep cycles by reducing disruptions, optimizing your environment, and timing your wake-up with your natural rhythm. You're not broken. Your body just needs complete, uninterrupted cycles to do the recovery work it's designed to do. Thanks to Father Fuel for sponsoring us, giving fathers energy when it matters most.